Allied CycleWorks bicycles are beautiful. That's always been the case. But inside the factory, that beauty was a source of tension. Paint was causing arguments.
I sort of saw this bickering from the team with people of different ideas of what our quality standard was, and a lot of kind of wishy-washy decisions being made.
Allied CycleWorks solved that problem. The team stopped fighting about paint and started seeing quality the same way. So in some ways, this is a small story about one operation in one facility, but it's also a story about something bigger. Why are quality standards so important? How do you create them? And how do you implement them? That's coming up on the Z-axis. The Z-axis is brought to you by Workforce Factor, your onboarding engine for industrial employees. Stick around to the end of the episode to learn more. We recently did an episode on Allied CycleWorks and their Made in the USA journey. They started out making the composite fiber bike frames by hand, and they transitioned to CNC machining in-house as the Made in the USA part of their production they're focused on. It's a fun episode, go check that out. This episode zooms in on a tighter, narrower aspect of their process. And what it has to do with is, how do you define a quality standard when the quality you're looking for is aesthetic, not dimensional? At Allied, that problem showed up the most clearly in paint. So Allied has shifted what work it does internationally, but there's still a lot of work done in its facility in the US, including finishing, aesthetics, beauty, paint. Here I am speaking with Sam Pickman, Allied CycleWorks Director of Product. As you mentioned, there is a fair amount of manual labor in this facility, but it has to do with polishing and painting. Paint isn't like machining. There's not a tolerance to measure against. That created tension.
I sort of saw this bickering from the team with people of different ideas of what our quality standard was, and a lot of kind of wishy-washy decisions being made.
Everyone had the same goal, a great looking bike, but no paint job is perfect. So how do you define a good paint job, and how much effort do you spend getting there? Sam said the beginning of the answer was the realization that some surfaces are more important than others. If you've ever painted a room, you recognize this intuitively. There are some parts of the painted walls that are just more apparent and more visible, and those are more important to get right. Same thing's true on a bicycle. Some surfaces are more visible to the rider than others. Every bike frame, there is a color-coded reference by surfaces where there are 3 different colors with 3 different meanings about those surfaces. Like, what are those colors and what do they mean?
So we have 3 zones: A zone, B zone, C zone. A zone are the most important areas of the frame. They're the parts that the customer interfaces with the most, that they're going to look at the most. A B zone is a secondary zone, so maybe something that's like a little bit of a hidden area. Customer's not going to interact with it much at all. And then a C zone is an area that's sort of hidden by the assembly, so you don't see it at all.
Not every surface deserves the same scrutiny. Getting to that recognition was a win, not just for agreement and morale, but also for cost effectiveness. In the past, in the absence of a reference like that, someone could have said, the paint here looks terrible, we need to address this.
In paint, there is no such thing as perfection. And if you chase that perfection, you will just chase yourself right out of business, basically.
Without a shared standard, bikes bounced back and forth for rework, even when the defect was in a place the customer couldn't see. How did you initially define and communicate that common standard language throughout the team?
It was a very systematic approach. We just took a frame. I put numbers all in different zones in the frame. I took all the key stakeholders from the business and had them essentially vote on each area, kind of like rank them A, B, and C based on the criteria we had spoken about. And then we just discussed and came to that together. From that point, I took a frame, which is the one you saw out there, which has the colors on it, and wrote up a standard, and then went to every single operator and just trained them on what that standard was. And then talked to them specifically about how that informed the work that they were doing.
This wasn't top-down. Engineers, painters, sanders, assemblers, they all had a voice in what makes a beautiful bike.
In sanding, a lot of time is 90 minutes on a frame, and you should be spending an hour of that 90 minutes in your A zones and try to get those really as nice and perfect as possible. And once that hour is done, you can move to the rest of the frame. You have 30 minutes to kind of work these areas, but you don't need to spend that level of detail. And if you see a small defect, this is a level of defect that's acceptable, right? If you see this level of defect is unacceptable. So these are the things you should fix. And that gave them a tremendous amount of clarity on sort of what they were trying to achieve with that piece of work, and trained everybody down the line on the same standards. So when the guys in assembly got a bike that was painted, if they see something, because when you're looking at something every day, you become far more critical of it. If they see something, they can say, oh, actually that's in a B zone and it's acceptable.
The standard didn't lower quality, it brought effort to where it mattered most. What did it mean once that standard was in place?
The biggest thing was buy-in from the team. There was no more infighting about sort of like what was and what was not acceptable. Bikes would spend less time going back and forth for rework after paint. We haven't lowered the quality standard. It's just standardized now.
Why is the standard so important? Allied was making quality bikes before the standard. So the standard didn't improve quality, the standard defined quality so that throughput could be improved.
Standards are everything. The rules of engagement, they're sort of the backbone in how we communicate with one another.
For Allied, paint points toward a bigger idea. If you want an efficient shop floor, have clear, shared expectations. Allied is a wonderful company. We did a longer episode on their Made in the USA production strategy, and if you haven't seen that, go check that out. I'm Peter Zielinski. Find more of my work at ZielinskiReport.com. The Z-Axis is a production of Edge Factor. If you like the show, please subscribe. Until next time, hold your tolerances tight, your faith and family tighter, and hold lightly to everything else. Workforce Factor is the new, customizable onboarding and upskilling engine for industrial employers. Where should training begin? How can skills development continue as employees grow? Workforce Factor is your company's tailor-made platform for addressing this challenge. Possibilities include technical courses, introductions to machining, welding, additive manufacturing, and more. Personal skill courses, introductions to time management, workplace ethics, financial literacy, and more. We are working with companies ready to systemize the approach to developing promising employees into skilled professionals. Contact Workforce Factor today.